Bob Toth. On 10 April 2019, Matthew Boyd allowed just one run over 6 innings of work, while the Detroit Tigers offense strung together 10 hits and 2 home runs off of Trevor Bauer to back their starter in a 4-1 win on Wednesday afternoon. A team finally figured out Bauer in the middle game of 3 from Comerica Park this week. The Indians' 28-year-old right-hander, who had allowed just one hit total in his first 2 starts, dealt with base traffic all game long for the first time this season. He was outpitched by the Tigers lefty, who struck out a season-low 6 but limited the Indians to just 4 hits on the day. The Tigers jumped out in front with 2 runs in the bottom of the first after the Indians stranded Leonys Martin at second base after a leadoff bunt single and a wild pitch. Bauer struck out the first batter of his outing and retired Nicholas Castellanos on a fly to center, but Miguel Cabrera singled to right center and scored on the next pitch as cleanup man Nico Goodrum cleared the wall in right with his first homer of the campaign. Bauer allowed a single to Kristen Stewart before getting John Hicks to fly to right, but the Tigers had a 2-0 lead. Boyd, Rick Ozentowski, USA Today Sports. Boyd allowed a 2-out single to Roberto Perez, a 1-out double to Carlos Santana in the 4th, and a leadoff walk to Perez in the 5th, but none of the base runners advanced past second. Bauer's experience was similar, as Dustin Peterson led off the second with a ground rule double, Goodrum singled with 2 down in the 3rd, Hicks and Jordy Mercer each singled in the 4th, and Goodrum walked in the 5th to reach for a 3rd straight plate appearance, but Bauer prevented runners from moving beyond second base to keep the game close at 2-0. The Indians found the scoreboard in the 6th, cutting the Tigers' lead in half. Martin was hit by a 2-seamer, but Boyd struck out both Jose Ramirez and Jordan Luplow to leave the inning hanging in the balance. Santana drew a walk to move Martin into scoring position, and Hanley Ramirez delivered with a big double to center after falling behind in the count 0-2 to make it a 1-run game. With the tying and go-ahead runs in scoring position, Jake Bauers struck out looking on a 2-2-2 fastball to waste a big scoring threat for the Tribe. Detroit responded with 2 big runs in the bottom of the 6th to put the game away. Hicks caught a second straight changeup over the plate and belted it to left for his first homer of the year to make it a 3-1 game. Gordon Beckham doubled to left with 1 out, moved to 3rd on a liner to right by Mercer, and trotted in easily on a 2-out RBI single by Josh Harrison to make it 4-1. Bauer was lifted for the newest Indian, Nick Whitgren, who struck out Castellanos swinging. Cleveland missed out again in the 7th against reliever Victor Alcantara. Perez doubled on a slider, but he remained standing at second as Max Moroff fouled out. Pinch hitter Brad Miller struck out swinging against left-hander Daniel Stumpf, and Martin grounded to second. Whitgren's impressive debut with the Indians continued as he blew through the Tigers lineup after a leadoff single by Cabrera. Goodrum, Stewart, and Hicks all struck out, but the right-hander needed 20 pitches to do so after a pair of 5-pitch battles and a 10-pitch encounter with Hicks. The Indians loaded the bases in the 8th, but wasted another golden opportunity. All-star Joe Jimenez retired J. Ramirez on a pop to short for the first out and struck out Tyler Naquin for the second, but his next 20 pitches resulted in walks to Santana, H. Ramirez, and Bauers to load the bases. Manager Ron Gardenhire pulled his setup man for Buck Farmer, who got pinch hitter Greg Allen to ground into a force at second. Neil Ramirez worked around a pair of base runners in the bottom of the 8th to keep it a 3-run game. Shane Green entered looking for his 8th save in 8 tries for the Tigers and did so quickly over an 11-pitch outing. He got Moroff to ground to second, Miller to strike out, and Martin to ground to short. In securing the save, he became the first pitcher since the advent of the save statistic to record 8 saves in his team's first 12 games. The Tigers moved to 8-4 on the year and are now 4-1 at home this year. The Indians slid a half game in back of Detroit at 7-4 and are 2-3 this season on the road. Bauer, Dwayne Burleson, Getty Images. Boyd was good once again for the Tigers, as the 28-year-old left-hander kept the Tri-Bats in check. He allowed a season-low 4 hits on the afternoon, walking 2 and striking out just 6, the first time this season that he had not reached double-digit strikeouts in a game. With 1 run allowed over 6 innings, he dropped his season ERA to 2.60 and earned his first win in 3 tries. Bauer had his first rough start of the campaign after posting a pair of dominating performances against Minnesota and Toronto. After allowing just 1 run and 1 hit combined in his first 14 innings of work, he exceeded those run and hit totals in the first inning when Goodrum left the yard. Bauer lasted 5 2/3, allowing 4 runs on 10 hits with a walk and 7 strikeouts. The loss was his first of the year. Perez had his best game of the season at the plate for the Tribe, going 2 for 2 with a single, a double, and a walk in 3 trips before being lifted with the bases loaded in the 8th. Santana reached 3 times in 4 trips with his 3rd double of the year and a pair of walks. The Indians as a team went 1 for 9, with runners in scoring position against the Tigers on Wednesday. The two clubs will turn to a pair of second-year right-handers with the series on the line on Thursday afternoon. Cleveland will call on Shane Bieber, 0-0, 3.38 ERA, who made a quality start while allowing just 2 runs on 2 hits with 9 strikeouts in his first start of the season on April 5 against Toronto. Detroit will counter with Spencer Turnbull, 0-1, 4.09 ERA, who will make his 3rd start of the year. Turnbull made his Major League debut against the Indians last September, pitching a scoreless inning in relief, and is coming off of a career-high 10 strikeout performance against Kansas City in his last start, a quality no decision. First pitch of the series finale from Motown is scheduled for 1:10 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday. Photo, AP Photo, Carlos Osorio, Hanley Ramirez, Roberto Perez, Trevor Bauer.